The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There was a family in Eretz Yisrael, 7 boys. Each of the boys, when they got to Yeshiva Gedolah, they all got in to the biggest yeshiva, the best yeshiva that was not far from their neighborhood. However, when the 7th was time for him to submit the application and take the bechina, take the test, he went and he received word a few days later that he wasn't accepted. The boy felt terrible. 6 of my brothers, they all got in. 6 of my brothers went to yeshiva. 6 of my brothers went a short distance from home. Me, I'm a lo yutzlach. It's a reward. Why did I get in? I know how to learn. I'm not worse than them. He felt so bad. His parents tried. Didn't work. They pushed, they called, they tried whatever connections they could do. They couldn't get the boy in. So they tried to get him into different places. Finally, they got him into a place. It was a little bit far from home. So he had to stay in a dormitory. He thought to himself, not only I didn't get to stay in the yeshiva there, not only I didn't go where my brothers went, but I have to travel and now stay and eat and drink in the dormitory, a small dormitory, and then Shabbos I have to be there because I can't get back and forth. What's he going to do? Schar. Reward. He wondered. He was in yeshiva. Happened to be, it was his first week on Friday. He's walking down the street, going back to his dormitory room. There's an elderly woman that sees him. And the elderly woman says, by the way, are you here learning in that yeshiva? He says, yes. Oh, I want to learn. I want to know, did you ever learn Pirkei Avos? Pirkei Avos? Yeah, I learned Pirkei Avos. She said, in one of my apartments, I have a shiur there for older men. Would you by any chance be willing to give a shiur in Pirkei Avos? They don't have anybody. The boy felt to himself, well, my brother's saying shiur in Pirkei Avos? Well, what's going on? I'm in a dormitory, and then I go over there. I'm not even used to saying it. I don't know what to do. He felt bad. Then he thought to himself, Yesh kana lama b'sha'achas. You never know when you get the opportunity what that opportunity is there for. So he began to think about it. Ulai! The words of the Heilige Chasam Sofer came to light, that if somebody asks you to do a favor, it means you got the koyach to do it. Although he never gave a formal shiur, he said to the woman, okay, I agree. They fixed that the next Shabbos, the shiur would begin at 3:30 in the afternoon. He came. The men came. The men liked the shiur. They kept him. A few minutes after the shiur, they wanted to ask more questions. He came back the next week, and the next week, and the next week. And they began to enjoy it. And the whole week they looked forward to this yeshiva bacher to come and to give them a shiur, a bissel chiyus, a little bit of life. Then, when the seasons changed, they changed the topic to Navi. He gave the Navi shiur. And that worked out beautiful. And then before Yom Tov, they asked him, could you give us a couple of shiurim on Yom Tov? And he did that. He repeated every single week to go to the place and to do a beautiful shiur. He continued throughout the year. For 4.5 years, he gave that shiur to these older men in that room. Time for him to get married now. They put out different feelers for shidduch. A young woman was spoken to him. Very fine young woman. Somebody who was exalted. They went out. Things worked out. They were going to get engaged. He then found out that the family does not have one penny to their name. All of his brothers, as is the minig, all his brothers, they got married, and the family was able to offer an apartment, a dirah, support. He's going to get married. He's not going to get a penny support. He will have to look for a small apartment, not in the better parts of town, something he could afford. When the word went out, the men of the shir were malei simcha for their Rebbe. They were so excited. And when he came to give the shir, each of them brought a little bit of refreshments in honor of the chassan. That night, the elderly woman got in contact with him. I would like to speak to you. Together with your kala. He came with his kala. The elderly woman said, Baruch Hashem, my husband was quite wealthy. He left me real estate in different areas. In the prime location in Yerushalayim, I have an apartment. The apartment is yours. It is totally paid up, no mortgage, no payments. It is yours to keep for 120 years. Mi yodea, Rabbi Isai. Mi yodea. You can never tell when the matan schar will come to you. We simply cannot measure it. Iato yodea. You don't know.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org